What's going on, man? Nowstalgia coming at you, giving you your weekly look at what's going on in pop culture. I am Patrick Sheehan with my co-host Dave Martinson. Dave, we talked on last week's pod about how you went on a little vacation. You saw some amazing sights in Hawaii, listened to some amazing tunes at Governor's Ball.
Facts.
But we're a little bit behind, so we're playing a little bit of catch up here. So we've neglected to talk about music for the last 4 or so weeks.
Yeah. That's correct.
We got a lot of catching up to do. I mean, we do a podcast looking at the state of rock. So check that out, soundcloud.com/nostalgiapod. But I thought maybe we could catch up on the albums that have been released and maybe some of the singles if you want to.
The culture continues.
I'm going to start with maybe one of your favorite bands, Alt J.
Yeah.
Released their third album, Relaxer.
What's the J stand for?
I have no idea.
Just don't listen to it.
Well, I would recommend not listening to this album, to be honest. It's did you listen to it?
Negative.
No, that's smart because they already released the best song as a single, In Cold Blood.
Oh, hate that.
So yeah, and the album's pretty boring. It starts off really well, like it's very exciting. In Cold Blood's the second song. It builds up for the first like 3 or 4 songs, then gets very like hymnal and like chanty, and I was just like, all right, I'm over it.
If I want to go to church, I'll listen to chants. Thank you.
Why don't we talk about a rock album, I guess rock pop album that came out that I think is much better. Gone Now by Bleachers. So, are you a Bleachers fan, Dave?
I've just recently listened to both Bleachers albums.
Jack Antonoff, man.
Yeah, he seems like a talented fella.
He's on the Governor's Ball.
I saw him come out and help Lord. They seem to have quite the rapport, and as we said last week, Soundcloud.com/nostalgia pod, Jack Antonoff worked on all of Lord's sophomore album, Melodrama, which comes out this Friday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he seems to be really out there. But this is his side gig, right? Because he's originally from 2 bands. Most well-known would be Fun, of course.
Right. Yeah, so pretty much after Fun had their big breakout album, I can't remember the name of it now.
The We Were Young and Some Nights album.
And I think they made one more after that.
They're officially on hiatus.
Yeah, they basically said, nah, we can't really do this. We can't be singing We Are Young when we're in our mid-30s anymore. It just doesn't work. So Jack Antonoff's like,
true. Yeah.
Here we go. We're going to go make Bleachers, which you want to do. His first album, Strange Desire, had a lot of commercial success. It got to 19th overall in sales on the U.S. charts. And then the U.S. and the U.S. rock charts, it got to number 2.
Who did it lose to?
Oh boy, at the time, 2014 in July. Oh man, I mean, Alt J did have an album out at that time. So
Riding High.
Alt J. But interestingly enough, Jack Antonoff,
Lena Dunham's significant other,
her boo, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I mean, what a weird couple, man.
Indeed.
So weird. Although I can't really imagine Lena Dunham.
I assume he's pretty weird. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a super weirdo.
Yeah.
Well, he hangs out with Lord. I mean, she's a super weirdo, too.
Yeah. Keep it in-house.
So, Gone Now, what were your thoughts?
I didn't like it quite as much as the first album.
Strange Desire is awesome.
I listened to them back-to-back for the first time each, so, I probably should have more listens, but I really liked Goodbye and I Miss Those Days, 2 songs at the end of the album.
I Miss Those Days is really good. Goodbye I was a little iffy on. Lena Dunham's actually on that song.
Oh, shit. Didn't
know she's talking in the background at one point. Actually, funny, I really liked songs at the beginning of the album and didn't enjoy the ending as much.
The more popular songs are the ones at the beginning.
Yeah, like I Hate That You Know Me So Well is blowing up right now. I actually thought Good Morning was the best song from the beginning.
Good morning.
That's a much better Good Morning song. But, I mean, Bleachers is really interesting because very unique in sound and very unconventional. Like, he throws sounds in there, distorts voices, and like has a weird cadence at times to get meaning across. So he's definitely worth a listen. He also, just side note, did a really interesting album, or I guess it was just a take on his album, where he got all-female artists to collaborate with him for, it's called Terrible Thrills Volume 2, which is...
It just covers of the first album.
Exactly, and he got some really cool artists on there. So,
some big-name people.
Yeah, Sia's version of Like a River Runs is, like, fantastic.
Yeah, Tinashe, Charlie XCX, Mo.
Sia actually just released a new song today, so maybe a new album coming from her?
Did
she 2 years in a row, right?
Well, she didn't. Did she not?
Was that 2 years ago?
She didn't release an album, right? For The Greatest, that was just a song, right?
Ah,
I think that was a promotional single, as they put it.
interesting.
Huh.
But yeah, definitely check out Gone Now. The album I really want everybody to check out though is Phoenix.
Ah.
So did you listen to Phoenix, TMO?
No, did not listen to the French fellas.
Yeah, so Phoenix.
I have too many backed up, you know. I can't start with that album 6.
Yeah,
It's not how I work. I know 1901. I like that song.
Yeah, Phoenix, obviously known for their breakout album Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix.
Yep.
Which had
Amadeus.
Listomania, 1901, Amadeus, 1901, Listomania, Rome.
It's like their third album, I think.
I believe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe it was their fourth. I think it was their fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're quite well established.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Excuse me. And basically, the thing that really stuck out to me about this album. So Bankruptcy was pretty good, but it was a little bit of a change in style. They're bringing a little more electronics, a little more poppy. This album went very poppy.
What's it called?
It's called TMO, which
TMO.
stands for I Love You in Italian, French. They're French, but they sing Italian, French, Spanish on this album, as well as English, obviously.
Huh.
So, and basically Thomas Mars, when he was talking about the album, said we just want to make this about all the the really amazing feelings there are in the world. And it's funny because they do it by some of their song titles are very simple, but one's Telefono, which is obviously telephone.
You don't say.
Their favorite or my favorite song off it is called, I want to get this right, so I want to read it off here. Fior di Latte, which stands for, it's basically the most pure form of gelato, and it's the sweetest kind of gelato you can get in the world, and that song is undeniable, dude. Did you listen to it?
Is it the one you told me to listen to?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like Phoenix to me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, no, I didn't, my ears didn't perk, I'll be honest.
It's not a major move away from Phoenix, but that song is just it's literally like bubblegum to me. I could probably chew it all day. It's so good. But the album is very consistent like that. I mean, some of the lyrics are a little suspect at times. In one of the songs, it talks about spread your legs and don't deny me or something like that, which can be problematic. People can be triggered by that.
You didn't even know it.
But overall, I mean, this was a really fun album. It'll probably be the album I'm listening to for the next couple of weeks just because it's so upbeat. And Phoenix...
That's important.
Yeah, Phoenix also experiments a lot. They used a harp as the main instrument in one of the songs. So definitely check out TMO. I highly recommend it.
So they were at Governor's Ball.
You did not see them.
Sunday.
Actually, you told them to shut up, if I remember correctly.
Correct. But who I did see was Childish Gambino. And he actually said this at the show and then confirmed it later with an interview, I think. I forgot who picked it up. But we didn't mention this last week. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he'll be releasing one last album under the name Gambino.
Right, yeah.
Moving on, doesn't think the name is necessary anymore. What do you think of that?
Will he be releasing music under the name Donald Glover?
That's the question. Obviously, he's got enough cachet as himself, Donald Glover, these days. He doesn't need to use his Wu-Tang Clan name generator rap name anymore. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he just stops making music because as the polymath that he is, he never was a music my whole life guy, even though he obviously did all his homework and stuff.
I feel like we had this conversation when we were talking about Atlanta, that he probably wasn't going to continue making music under Gambino anymore. Yeah. I think it's probably a smart move. I mean, he's not shy about the fact that he really just wanted to become famous so he could start putting out the kind of projects he wanted to do, and Gambino was a way to first get noticed along with his comedy special, obviously. He was just a 30 Rock writer initially, so... But he was writing for 30 Rock really young. Yep. Pretty crazy. UCB. I think it makes sense, and I mean he's a much more mature artist than his name would suggest. I mean, coming from a Wu-Tang name generator, so I mean. And he already has a lot on his plate. Obviously, he's finishing Star Wars. That'll be gone. Then he's gonna probably do season 2 of Atlanta. And then season 2, and Deadpool. Right. So those are 2 major commitments. What do you think? So I expected no music for a while anyway, but yeah, I think giving it finality makes a lot of sense. Also, who knows if he keeps jumping around genres, I don't know. But yeah, it makes sense to me. I thought it seemed inevitable. I kind of wish he had done that for this album because it was such a move away from what he had done in the past. I feel like it would have made a lot more sense to just be yo, I'm not Childish Gambino anymore. I'm Donald Glover, who wrote Atlanta and is doing Deadpool and is now doing this strange but kind of awesome music as well. I don't know. But he probably will have something planned out to bury the name, which would be pretty cool. He's a creative guy.
Indeed.
So, Dave, I kind of want to pass you the rock here now, because I listened to a couple of albums. I listened to Bryson Tiller. I listened to a couple little Yachty songs you sent to me. Halsey and Katy Perry, all against my will, just for you. So
yeah, definitely. I definitely said, please listen to Halsey.
Where do you want to go with this? What do you want to talk about?
Let's stick in the pop realm.
Oh God, which one are we talking about?
Let's go with Halsey, 22-year-old phenom,
Hopeless Fountain Kingdom,
undrafted. She was undrafted.
Yeah, crazy. She's 22.
Yeah,
I mean, after Closer, she's enormous now.
Right, but I didn't actually realize this. She's been famous for a while now. She sold out MSG before Closer.
I did not know
she was on Bieber's Purpose album, late 2015, a duet with him.
I didn't know that.
And she already had a whole other album that did really well. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea, obviously, because I don't listen to that kind of pop music.
Right.
You know? But nevertheless, Closer put her on the map and for everyone else. And she, I mean, doing some reading, she had to put off making the second album because she was doing so much work in support of the Chainsmokers at award shows and performances and stuff.
Which she could have just not done.
Yeah.
To be honest, I get the appeal, like, get your face out there, but come on.
I mean, it's so funny just because of the juxtaposition of Andrew Taggart's inept singing.
Horrible voice.
And then she shows up. It's like, oh, yeah, look, someone who actually can sing.
It has an incredible, unique voice.
Right.
I mean, that's really what really stands out about Halsey, why she became so popular. She has this almost, like, raspy, low voice, but it's so unique, and it really does catch you. Like, you hear it, and your ears just perk up. This is her second album, right?
Yes.
And the first one was called...
Badlands?
Badlands. Yeah, I don't remember listening to Badlands.
Well, no. That's the thing,
but
like,
apparently...
It was very popular, but it didn't have that many mainstream hits, if any, I think.
Right, which is crazy. But
she became very well known in all the music circles from that.
So she comes in with the Chainsmokers. She's like, yo, I'm going to tour with you, and I'm going to put this album together in 6 weeks, your follow-up album. I mean,
seems like a rush, yeah.
And also, while doing it with her ex-boyfriend, who she kind of hates and wrote most of the album about, conflict.
Former collaborator /
Lido?
Yeah, wasn't familiar either.
Very famous rapper named Lido / producer.
Famous.
So, what do you think of the album, Dave?
It's fine. Not my cup of tea.
Fine.
It's fine. I don't think it's that good.
I don't think it's that good either. I actually would say it's kind of boring. I mean, you take a talent like this who has such a unique and interesting voice, and for me to really not perk up while I'm listening to it is not very good. Yeah,
honestly, the things that stand out to me now are never the first single. You listen to that, that's the one charting, it's got a video already. You listen to that and you're like, oh, this just sounds like had some inspiration from Rihanna. And sure enough, the same writer for Needed Me wrote this for Halsey. And Halsey's had some criticisms for a while now about coming off as a manufactured in a lab millennial artist, being that she's so young and whatnot, and the subject matter of her music. But at the same time, I don't think she's musically any more unique than Tuvlo or Charlie XCX or any of these, other pop singers. They're all kind of in the same boat. It's just Halsey kind of is riding this millennial wave, and because of a lot of her personal interests and the way she presents herself outside of music, it seems that she's kind of rising above all that.
Yeah, it's
politically and things with Planned Parenthood. She's obviously getting really out there, and which is great. Obviously, not gonna hate on that, but I think musically, I don't think she's that much different from the others.
Well, she was definitely experimenting a lot in this album, so I give her some credit for that, especially being her second album, only being 22. I'm going to give her a little bit of time to figure out what her sound is, and before I'll say she's
won't go away, that's for sure.
Calling her Charlie XCX is kind of rough, Dave. I mean, Charlie XCX, I really, she sang that bridge song. I drove my car into a bridge.
I don't care. I love it. That's a feature.
Is it?
That's that kind of pop song.
Oh God. Well, I guess Halsey's biggest song is a feature as well, so I can't really knock them at all. I almost feel like pop stars nowadays, this is what they become: is features for DJs, for like rap songs, like things like that.
Well, this kind of pop star, the platonic ideal of pop stars, Ariana Grande,
right?
Megastar, but she's not gonna. I mean, she has a big star already. But she's not on that level. But they also make kind of different music, you know. Ariana Grande is more traditional pop, really enhancing her incredible singing. Right. Where Halsey is seems to be more of a songwriter.
I mean, how many stars can you think of that are like Ariana Grande though?
Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, like just great pipes.
That's about it. Like,
yeah.
Halsey has good pipes, but she doesn't have that kind of range. And
no.
You know, I think about like Bieber put out a song today with Guetta. And
David Guetta, yeah.
Which, I mean, good for David Guetta, man. I mean, that dude just keeps grinding.
It's a factory.
Years later. But, like, Bieber, this is kind of what he's becoming, too, is, like, these features. He was on I'm the One.
Despacito.
Recently, Despacito, which is huge right now. So, it's just sad that, like...
Despacito's number 1, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'm the One was number 1. He has 2 number 1s in, like, 6 weeks.
Anything he touches...
Not even 6 weeks.
Do you think... To You, or is it You? Yeah, it's To You will also reach number 1.
It just came out. You know, I mean,
just off listen. What do you think?
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me because it's no better than Cold Water, and that song did really well.
I think Cold Water's a little bit better.
Oh no, I do. I agree with that. I like Cold Water though.
Okay.
So it depends. It's kind of a rough go for number 1 right now. There's a lot of songs like. The late rollout for That's What I Like by Bruno Mars has been top 3 for a while right now, which came out in December.
That song is so good, though.
Yeah, of course, great song. We loved it at the time. We talked about it then. But then, like, you know how labels go. They push the song later as a late single and try to pick their spots in the charts.
Oh, dude, it's a smart time to do it because if you pick it up for the summer, like you're in. Yeah, Song of Summer is actually becoming kind of interesting at this point, especially with like these kind of songs coming out. Funny. I was thinking, I thought for sure I'm the One was going to be Song of the Summer, and now I have no idea.
It's crazy, too, because I'm the One went to number 1, like, within, like, 2 days. It came out, like, at the end of the week and was number 1 by the...
Another one.
Exactly. Another number 1 for DJ Khaled. I don't even know how many he actually has, but impressive. But, yeah, back to Halsey. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I thought the song Strangers was pretty good. It has a nice beat behind it, and it's again talking.
There is some interesting beats. I'll give her that.
Yeah. Like I said, she experiments a bit. She does like some like Motown type songs too. I think there was one that had like some horns on it. I didn't write it down.
That Don't Play sounded cool.
Don't Play, interesting.
What song that sucked though? Lie with Quavo. Fucking trash.
Dude, well,
holy crap.
I mean, speaking of like
Quavo making that money.
Quavo's making money, but just in general, like they've picked some horrible features, dude. Like just not to spoil it, but the Katy Perry song,
Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit, horrible song.
I honestly, I don't think they're making any choices. They're just saying like the label.
They're like, give me money.
They're like getting huge checks to be on like huge ass artists that are really hot and relevant. Like Liam Payne, the One Direction guy, debut solo single features Quavo, and Quavo, you know, in his camp are like, oh. You're gonna give me this fucking, 6-figure check for this? Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will.
The fact that you will compromise your artistic integrity just to ride the fact that Migos is so fucking hot right now.
Right.
That's the problem. Don't hate on Quavo for taking easy money and phoning in verses.
I mean, I don't hate on him. I mean, keep getting them checks, but for real, like.
The best song out of all of these is probably that Sean Paul song that they all jumped on.
Sean Paul, Don't Give It to You. And
I guess Calvin Harris, which is ancient history at this point.
Slide. Which, man, I feel like that was forever ago. Doesn't it seem like so long ago? Crazy. Yeah, Migos though, they're basically doing what Kendrick Lamar does every once in a while. Just like, I'm gonna give a verse to like all these artists and just get huge checks, and they'll go back and make a really catchy album like sometime next year probably. So why don't we move on from Halsey though? I don't really want to talk about
quite
her
enough.
More. Yeah. What about Katy Perry, dude?
Ugh.
Wow, you didn't like it. You were
woke pop problem.
You were very much anticipating this album.
Of course, because Katy Perry is a superstar.
And
she's sold over 100 million records.
4 years? 2013, right?
Prism, yeah.
Yeah. Which had some big songs on it. Dark Horse.
Roar.
Roar, yeah.
And Birthday as well.
Birthday.
That one got to like 17. Big song.
I don't even remember that one.
I like that one. But yeah, just to re-hammer the point. over 100 million records sold by Katy Perry. That's on par with Adele and Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, and Jay-Z. So she sold hella records. And let's see. Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night, California Girls, Firework, E.T., Pardon Me, Wide Awake, Roar, Dark Horse, Birthday. That's 10 hits from 2 albums.
She's awesome.
How many hits are on this album? Witness.
Maybe 2.
I think that's generous.
The thing is, Katy Perry will be able to get songs that are gonna top the billboards no matter what. Just from radio play and name recognition alone, I think she will.
She's had 3 singles though.
Yeah, well,
Chained to the Rhythm, Bon Appetit, and Swish Swish with Nicki Minaj.
Chained to the Rhythm is the best one out of those 3, in my opinion.
Didn't chart that well. Came out 6 weeks ago.
It's interesting because she also changed her look, and I know that she kind of got some.
She changed her look a lot,
but this is a drastic change.
She used to. I mean, you look at like the Prism era of touring, and her stages and her outfits. She kind of embraced like just being weird, while also having great songs that everyone loves. And now like she doesn't seem to be embracing that weirdness, despite still being a weird person. Like read any of transcripts of any of her interviews. She doesn't make sense a lot, and obviously the Bon Appetit performance on SNL is so cringeworthy. But I really think that this album is like Lady Gaga's art pop. A studio album that has no hits and people are not going to like. The problem is Katy Perry, given this Taylor Swift view that's just been reignited.
And then T Swift
is going to have a hard time moving past this the way Gaga did.
Yeah, and then also T Swift fucking ethers her today, and by putting all of her music back onto streaming services.
So savage, dude.
Dude, salty as
oh my god.
Amazing though.
Taylor Swift was dying on the hill in 2014, penning an essay to the Wall Street Journal about good things need to be paid for, and Spotify and company don't pay indie artists. And now she's like, well, you know what? I want to throw some major shade at Katy Perry.
She's basically the queen of petty at this point.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. But I think it's kind of
this awesome. Is Taylor Swift. This is her classic Taylor Swift. Authentically inauthentic.
Oh, absolutely. But I kind of like it.
Savage.
I kind of like it because
we've been giving her shit since Kim brought the receipts.
Yeah, exactly. So she needed something, and this was basically just like, yep, I have this feud with this girl over my ex-boyfriend, and fuck you.
Wasn't even that. It was backup dancers.
It was over backup dancers? I thought it was over John Mayer.
No, not even. Oh, God. Assumingly, it's over Katy Perry using backup dancers. And let's not forget that Taylor Swift could have kept employing them. Like it's not a betrayal by working for somebody else. You're a backup dancer. Like
Jesus Christ.
So it's all Taylor Swift's fault for starting it, but she's also a more famous person, so she has more control. It's kind of like Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. Actually, just the way Taylor's played it. But just you're the bigger one who's more popular. Right. You can control the whole thing. So
man, T Swift
and Katy Perry's not helping it by not dropping a good album.
Yeah. So I mean, Katy Perry, I remember when she first came out, she was very edgy.
I Kiss the Girl.
Yeah, I Kiss the Girl. I liked it. California Girl, she was in that video with like shooting whipped cream out of her tits
with
and
Snoop Dogg.
Like it was crazy. Like she was always doing something provocative. Yeah. Nothing on this album is provocative. It actually seems like a very sad album at parts. Like was it Save to Drafts? First of all, corny ass name. Like what the fuck is that? But second, like the whole song is basically just like I was gonna say something to you, but then I decided to save it to my draft instead. Maybe
it's
I'll
like my tweets.
Later. Oh, yeah,
poetic.
Like what?
That'll sell records.
Yeah, so I don't know. It like tries to reach depth, but it really fails. Which if Katy Perry's gonna go in that direction, she needs to nail it.
That's the thing. She was talking.
Just go with the same formula, Katy.
She was talking about it was woke pop. She says up to the rollout, and she's always been outgoing in her political allegiances, whereas Taylor Swift has been much more apolitical.
Right.
But yeah, Katy, you have to back it up with an album people will want to listen to again.
Right. If you want to do woke pop, take another Sia's like playbook. Basically, Sia sings about like deep things, like deep emotions, longing, but she does it in a way that's incredibly well done, very like artsy, crafted very well. She has a message, she has an image, she puts it out there. Katy Perry feels like she's just kind of like throws shit against the wall at this point.
And the fact that we have there's no song we think has any chance of being song of the summer from Katy Perry. Like that would have been insane a few years ago.
Actually, she's gonna be on Calvin Harris's album, which comes out in 3 weeks now. Yeah, on the 30th. It's called Funk Wave Bones Volume 1. I mean...
Is she on the song with anyone else?
No, apparently supposedly she's featured on it by herself.
Oh, okay.
So she might have a shot at Song of the Summer if that one's a hit, but I don't know. If he hasn't released it as a single by this point, I can't imagine it's going to chart that well. So
yeah, that's...
That'll probably be her best song, though.
So, major takeaway, this is Katy Perry's art pop. Lady Gaga rebounded. We'll see how Katy Perry handles it.
Well, I don't think Katy Perry's Lady Gaga. But
you're right, I don't either.
What about this little Yachty guy, dude?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the deal with him?
That's a good question, man. Speaking of... So we're talking about hits, right? With Katy Perry might have a chance at a hit with Calvin Harris as a feature.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Yachty's 2 biggest hits happen to be features. I Spy and Broccoli, Kyle and Dram, respectively. Both of which are top 5 smashes, undeniable songs.
Right.
Broccoli, in particular, charted in the top 10 for a very long time last year. And songs are still great. And Yachty only debuted last year, right? Right now he's only 19.
Yeah, but isn't he supposed to be like the
king of the teens?
Yeah, exactly. King of the teens. Perfect way to put it.
Well, yeah, he had his debut mixtape, excuse me, Little Boat, One Night, and Minnesota. 2 good songs people like, popular, really his most popular solo songs. And he just kind of blew up next to Uzi and Kodak and 21, all these young kids coming out of nowhere. And the thing that's different about Little Yachty is that
His red hair?
Well, he's got the red beads, of course, so he stands out visually. But his brand has gotten so much bigger than his actual music's popularity. Right. He's the ambassador for Nautica. Yeah. He had that commercial / song cover for Target with Carly Rae Jepsen. And he's in a commercial with LeBron James for Sprite. That's still on.
Crazy.
That's crazy. This kid's 19. Yep. He's been in the public conscious for less than a year, and all of this has happened to him.
Which, first of all,
it's very unique.
He has very unique endorsements. I mean, Nautica. I would never imagine him.
It's because the yacht club.
Yeah, exactly.
The boat gang.
Just like,
Little boat.
So yeah, Teenage Emotion.
Yep, debut album came out early, just like Bryson Tiller's album.
What did you think of the art of the cover, first of all?
It's promoting diversity. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it was fine.
You know, good. It fits your image.
Exactly.
It's kind of a flop though. Only 45,000 first week.
Well, you want to know why it's a flop? It's fucking trash, dude.
Yep.
Like, I listened to the Ringer podcast, talked about it, because I was like, I'm going to see what they say. If I like it, I'll check it out. And then they hated it, and I was like, oh, maybe now I'll check it out and see if I hate it. And I listened to a couple songs, and I was like, eh. And then you sent me a couple of songs, and I was like, I really could not get into this album.
It has the cardinal rule for us. It's way too long.
How long is it?
21 songs. 21. But 21 songs when you don't like
Are they full songs or are they skits?
It's over an hour.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I think that 45,000 sales is really just his core base. Like he has enough fans to do his own tour, which he's doing soon. And I don't think that's going to go away overnight.
No.
But Bryson Tiller sold over 106. That's blowing Yachty out of the water. But people talk about Yachty all the time.
Right.
So I think the takeaway is that his brand is way bigger than his music. And his music has always been divisive because he's not like a master of the craft. You know, he's gotten hot water for his comments about Biggie, stuff like that. You listen to any of his interviews he does with like Hot 97, and you'll definitely form an opinion on Yachty as a guy.
Is it
despite him, and you know, I want to root for him because he promotes positivity. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even drink or smoke or anything. He just, you know, he seems like a good dude. It's just he kind of lucked into this huge star.
Yeah, and apparently, he's supposed to be representing teens. Is his base teenagers?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. So, like, Gen Zers are kind of the bulk of the fans for SoundCloud rappers that get most of their views and thus chart performance from streams on SoundCloud and also YouTube. Right. And Yachty is the face of that, even if he's no more popular, probably less popular than someone like Uzi. And
basically, that's just from Broccoli he got so big?
Well, no, it was from his Little Boat mixtape, so One Night and then Minnesota, yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I don't really see the appeal of this guy. The songs, I mean, this is coming from Old Man Pat for sure, so to all our teenage listeners, I'm sorry I don't understand you. But, I mean, these songs the beats weren't even that great. It wasn't really that accessible. The lyrics were fucking horrible.
Right, so Yachty's never been good at lyrics, but he needs to do what Future does. You never have good lyrics, but you got catchy-ass hooks and fire beats.
Mask off.
Teenage Emotions has none of the three. And we knew he was going to have lyrics, so we needed the beats, he needed the hooks. He doesn't have them. That's why it's not a good album.
It's gotta be disappointing for him.
Little Boat even has deep cuts that are fun to listen to. Teenage Emotions has fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just a total miss.
Well, is there any song that redeems it in your opinion?
I like the song with YG and Kamaya just because I like those two way more than Yachty. But I mean, part of YG's verse is "I fuck with Lil Yachty" like 3 times. And, like, how much did that cost?
Yeah.
You know?
Ah, okay.
That's not to say that people don't fuck with Yachty. Like, let's not forget he was on Coloring Book for Mixtape with Chance. But big failure for Yachty. He'll have this tour. We'll see if the drawing board shows up. But not good. You can totally skip it.
Well, you already mentioned the last album we wanted to get to, at least I wanted to get to today. Bryson Tiller's "Be True to Yourself."
True to self.
Yeah, true to self. I guess I add the B in there. This is a 58-minute album. It's long. It drags a little bit, a lot of it.
Z's.
Yeah, honestly, I was driving when I was listening to this album. I had the headphones in. Not a good way to drive, I know, but so my radio cuts out as I get down here in New York City. So because I use one of those transmitters. FM.
He's an FM transmitter still?
Yeah. Dude, have you seen my car? It's old school, man. 2006.
Use a cassette adapter.
No, I'm not down with those.
They're more.
I actually don't think my car has a cassette.
Okay, because in my experience, cassette adapters were way more reliable than FM transmitters.
They're definitely way more reliable, but
and they also are way cheaper. So if they break, you get a new one instead of FM transmitters had such a range of cost. But I
was driving. I had my headphones in because I was like, I usually don't like to listen to albums for the first time without my headphones in. So I'm listening to it. I just kept checking how many more songs do we have? How many more songs do we have? Kept skipping through. It was hard. And is this dude like, is he hard? He kept talking about how he keeps wanting to, like, kill people, but, like, he didn't want to leave his daughter, and I'm like, I can't tell if this dude is a hard body or not.
No, Bryson Tiller's whole image that he propped up on Trap Soul, his debut album from the fall of 2015, was that he was a good dude, and all his girls fucking left him, and joke's on them because now I'm famous.
Right.
And, now he's got a kid and stuff. He's always been a good guy image. Like a clean, like, and it's funny because he talks about not liking fame and stuff in interviews and in his music now too, and he always dresses the same. He's got his black hat
with the black sunglasses
and
big frames.
The problem with True to Self, in my opinion, is just that image is too stale this time around because there's no hit on this album.
Okay.
Trap Soul had, by my count, like 6 hits.
Wow.
6 or 7 jams. And part of that's because he would do a little rapping here and there.
Yeah, he was mostly singing.
He's like 95% singing on True to Self. I think that's kind of the problem because his appeal was kind of like being a new Drake, more singing Drake. And even Drake acknowledged that, and Drake gave him props and stuff. Bryson Tiller did a How About Now freestyle, which was fucking awesome.
Jumping into this album, not listening to his older stuff, I actually was thinking, why would anyone actually pay for this album? You can listen to Usher's Confessions Part 1 and 2, and it's so much better. Like, this
is an album you put on if you're going to bed, having a little sex.
Yeah, there are definitely some slow jams on there.
Yeah,
but
that's the problem. It's all slow. There's no Sorry Not Sorry. There's no 502 Come Up. There's no major smash like Don't, which was his breakout single.
Now, didn't you see him at the Meadows last year?
Correct.
And he killed it, you said.
Yeah, because
the crowd was really into it.
Yeah, he got really famous off this first album, but again, he has songs that people can get into because they're more lively.
I can't imagine seeing these songs at like a festival.
No, and like this, like I can see it now. This is like medium-sized, 1,000-person venue, and he's just serenading the ladies in the crowd with this album. Like,
well,
the energy will be low.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
but it sold really well, which is good for him.
Yeah, man.
And he's actually interesting because since Trap Soul came out, he did not do like a ton of features. His really only one of note was on Travis Scott's album from the fall, which I did like a lot. But overall, Bryson Tiller is only 23, I think, or 24.
Oh, okay.
So, and with selling over 100, good for him. But
yeah, man.
We'll see what comes next, because this is definitely also forgettable.
Well, I guess to summarize it, did you have any other albums you want to touch on? Or songs?
SZA just dropped her debut album, Control. She's the songstress on TDE, so you've seen songs with her with Schoolboy Q, Kendrick, and J-Rock and the like.
Yeah,
so I might check that out. I haven't listened to it yet.
Go to our Spotify playlist, Nowstalgia Best of 2017.
Yep.
I think I added the song with Kendrick Lamar from the SZA album, Babylon. Dude, fucking amazing song from her first album with Kendrick. This song is also very good.
Yeah, she's talented, and she's kind of had some label issues with TDE, with taking forever to get this out. It was getting really public, so.
I called her Panorama last year. She was a little underwhelming, but
that's the thing with our R&B singers that are on the come up. They're usually not great live.
But I still she still had a stage presence. I thought, I was like,
that's good.
I think I'll see her again. So she said she was going away to work on an album. So
it was this one.
There you go.
This Friday, Lord, Melodrama, 2 Chainz, White Girls Like Trap Music. Sorry, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Didn't Lord drop another single today?
Did she?
Yeah, I think it's like Pure Places or something like that.
Whatever. I don't listen to singles this close to the album at this point.
Whatever. Yeah, no, they
don't matter.
But anyways, that wraps it up for this week. Next week.
So how many of these albums are we giving thumbs up to? Bleachers, thumbs up.
Bleachers, thumbs up. Phoenix thumbs up.
Alt J, thumbs down.
Down. Yachty, down. Halsey, down. Katy
Perry, down. Bryson Tiller, down. Wow.
Yeah, so 3?
Honest.
Yeah. Maddie T. Come back and listen to this episode and tell us what you think, bro.
Try.
Anyways.
Yeah, we're not afraid to offend someone. Fucking square.
Anyways, check out all of our podcasts, soundcloud.com/nostalgiapod. You can also find a link to our YouTube channel. Subscribe, wherever it is. And, share us with friends. Give us a rating on iTunes.
Please.
And a review. And tweet at us at Nowstalgia.
Definitely tweet at us at NowstalgiaPod.
What are you listening to?
At Cheney World Peace.
Yes.
At Martin Swagger for me.
Martin Swagger.
Let us know what's good.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that Black Panther trailer? You hyped for that? Ryan Coogler x Michael B. Jordan, round 3? Let us know.
And I think that's it for this week. We're out.